Hey you guys, it's Britt. Today we're here with a quick little update on the Ruby Franke, Kevin Franke, Jody Hildebrand topic. This has, specifically, it has something to do with Kevin Franke. They have released the body cam footage, and I had a few thoughts about it, so if you're interested, please keep watching. Right, you guys, so this is only a 1 minute clip, but you get a visual as to Kevin Franke and kind of his demeanor in dealing with the authorities about the items that SHARI Franke, which is his oldest daughter, took, that he felt like she took these things, electronic journals and things along these lines, and I want to press charges on my own child because these items are so precious and so valuable to him. Now, I talked about this before the body cam footage was released, so I'll link that other video down below because it goes into more detail as to kind of what SHARI took from the home and all of these things. However, I will say, I still have the immediate thought, same, that has not changed. What is in those electronic journals that Kevin Franke is so concerned about? Because if you leave an item in a house that you haven't supposedly been in for over a year and you're over here gallivanting and doing your own thing, not checking up on the welfare of your own children and listening to Jody and Ruby's bizarre instruction to stay away from your family and everything is going to be hunky-dory and all great, why are you even worried about these electronic journals? You supposedly haven't even been around for a year. What is in those journals that you do not want SHARI Franke having access to? I always think that reactions and responses are very interesting when it comes to these kinds of things, and Kevin is really showing himself to everybody that is following this case. Kevin is really showing his concern about certain information possibly getting out to the courts, the attorneys, the public, the people that know of 8 passengers. So to not only be so concerned about these devices, but also then want to take it a step further and actually think that you want to press charges on your own child who is doing her best as a young woman to help the other children that you allowed to be misused by Ruby and abused. You stood by and allowed this to happen. You dropped your fatherly role and decided to allow this to happen. And now your oldest child is stepping into a role that she should not have to be stepping into. And you want to even consider, even the fact that the words came out of his mouth, I want to press charges against my daughter, is very telling. But let's watch this minute clip and then I will give my thoughts.
There you go. Is it all there?
Yes. Yeah, explain to me again why this was not robbery.
Because it's a civil issue.
So he kind of looks over the items that the police officers hand to him in a really suspicious way, as you can see, and then automatically goes into, well, explain to me why this is not robbery. This is not robbery. He automatically wants to put a crime on his child for having these devices.
You guys are family. She's been in the house before. You haven't been in the house in a year. She had interest in the items. She didn't take them with the intention to deprive you of them. So theft, that's the theft code. We have to prove intent to deprive you of the items.
Just the look on his face kind of sends chills down my spine. He's so suspicious of everything, and you can tell that this is a man who has many secrets that he is very scared are going to come out because of everything that is unfolding. And I realize this is a very tough time for the entire Franke family and people friends of theirs, so on and so forth. And I understand that, but I have zero mercy and zero respect for Kevin Franke in this situation.
And that wasn't her intent in having them. So the detective sergeant said that we're not going to charge her for anything.
Okay. I'll have to do some more research on that.
You're welcome to do that. If you want to follow up with our detective, you can do so.
Okay.
Yeah, he'll be here on Tuesday. His name's Sergeant McCoy. Okay. You're welcome.
Just like his demeanor, it's his look. It kind of makes me want to just smack that look right off of his face, because he is part of the problem here. He is not an innocent bystander who had something awful happen to his children. He is part of the problem. And that look that he has, that looking around like everyone is out to get him, sir, you are the one who stepped away and dropped your responsibility as a father to those children. I have no pity and no mercy for him. But I love how he's like, oh, I'm going to have to do some more research into that. Okay, go do some research. Why don't you research why it is that you were okay with allowing this all to unfold for so long while you stood by and listened and didn't do anything to help your children? And this isn't even covering all of the time leading up to this point. We have talked about that in other videos. Kevin was involved long before all of this was exposed through Jody and Ruby being arrested. I want to read a couple of the comments on this video because there were a couple of good ones. One says, I love police body cams and how they expose the truth. Good luck with the damage control on this despicable display, Kevin. Next comment, hasn't been in contact with most of his kids for months. Seems upset that his daughter isn't getting arrested. What a piece of work this guy is. Next comment, this horrible man still sees his children as the problem. He only wants to punish SHARI for leaving and calling the cops on his disgusting wife. That's all this is. It's tit for tat. He is being petty and childish because he blames SHARI for Ruby being in jail. He doesn't believe that Ruby deserves to be where she is. I cannot believe this man. What a piece of garbage. And that's the thing, like, SHARI is so young. She should not have to be dealing with any of this. She should not have to be sitting in the seat that she is sitting in right now, and she is doing her best. And then you have Kevin Franke, who was part of the problem the whole time, literally upset that she's not going to get arrested. Please. Imagine you have just been caught abusing or at least neglecting your children so your wife can abuse your children, and then have the audacity to accuse another child of robbing you when you chose to not be in your home for a year anyway. The next comment says, no concern that the eldest daughter is taking care of her tortured siblings. He just wants her charged for theft, putting his computer electronic devices ahead of the welfare of his own traumatized children. What is he hiding? And that's what I'm saying. There has to be something on these devices that he does not want coming out. Because why else would you care? What is on those devices? Is it going to implicate other people? Is it going to expose things that we have no clue have even happened yet? What is on those devices that he is so upset that anybody else would even be in possession of them? I think it's very telling, and I don't think that he deserves to just get away with this, and I've said that from the very beginning. And I think that it's just exposes what an awful father Kevin Franke is. And what I said in my other video is, if you want to talk about the monetary value of these objects that he is so worried about, just, let's not even talk about what might possibly be in them. The money that was used to buy all of these objects, like laptops, cameras, clothing, little gadgets, the house that they literally lived in, the vehicles that they were driving, they bought those items with money that was made off the backs of their children, SHARI being one of them. So how dare Kevin Franke sit there and want to play a victim? I think that it's appalling, and I think that he is an absolute monster. So I'm obviously continuing to cover this, but I wanted to share the body cam footage with you guys because I think that it just gives a really good visual representation of just how scummy and slimy Kevin Franke is. And yeah, so that's the update for today. If you like the video, please leave a like and a comment. And if you'd like to see more from me in the future, please subscribe. I'll see you guys soon. Bye.